Welcome in, everybody, to the Coach's Corner here with Coach Aaron Voegtli. After a tough weekend and an even tougher one ahead, let's start off here, Coach. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing all right. It's a Thursday night in nice, cool Pennsylvania. So I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing some friends of mine this weekend and starting up a new rivalry with William Paterson and seeing what the future holds for us.
Well, let's talk back on this past weekend. You guys only had one game on the docket, and it was kind of an interesting standalone game. It was against Liberty University Flames, a team that you guys had a 4-1 record on in the last three seasons, and you guys dropped your second of six decisions to them this past weekend, and it was not a game we were used to seeing. You guys went down, and you guys went down hard and early in this one, and it was tough to recover. You guys made a valiant effort there at the end, but talk about what happened in this game.
Well, I think some of it was tightness and maybe a little bit of it was looking ahead. We knew Liberty was much improved from last year. I mean, the addition to the other Dockstetter, Devin Dockstetter and Varstead to the second line, and some of the new defensemen. They're a better team than what they have been. So I think we kind of came out tight for kind of just a feeling out process of what kind of game we were going to be into. I don't think we brought our best in the first period, but you got to tip your hat to Liberty. They came out, guns aflame, and they were flying from the get go, and they capitalized on mistakes. They in the first 3.5 minutes, we had a bad pinch at the blue line from a converted forward back on our blue line because of all the injuries, and they took advantage on a great 2-on-1 play, and it was 1-0 Liberty. Second goal was a 3-on-2, and we let a guy just kind of skate around us, and he beat Drago to the far post, and it was 2-0 before we were 5 minutes in, and then we did the one thing that we couldn't do up against that team, and we certainly can't do this weekend. Is we took a penalty, and the puck hits two shin pads and goes in the net. We're down 3-0 10 minutes into the game, and it's a really quick way to dig yourself a hole. And when you're playing a team of that kind of caliber and that kind of talent, it's very difficult to dig your way out of. So it was unfortunate. I thought as the game went on, we started to kind of loosen up a little bit. But your games, once you're down 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, teams are going to loosen up. They're not going to play as hard. It just becomes just a hockey game, and you can finally relax a little bit, and then you start playing, and we got some bounces to go our way. But it's unfortunate that we couldn't have played the way we played in the third period in the first period. So it's unfortunate that we lost that game, and I think just in talking to Chris Lowe, their head coach, he's a very good coach. He said, we know that we didn't see your best, and it's true, but it's not his doing that. He didn't see our best. We got to bring our best to every game, and we got to do a better job. So, I'm glad it's behind us. I think it was a learning process for some of our guys. The message this week was just kind of get back to having fun and playing the game because you love to play it, and and hopefully it'll translate moving forward.
Yeah, on their northern tour, seeing Maryland, you guys in Delaware, they rocked their third-string goaltender, who ended up getting three straight wins out of the weekend. A little mystery behind him. How did that play into the mental aspect of this game? Were you expecting to see Devine or Byron in the game up against Liberty?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised on Devine. I know that Chris has his way of going through his goaltenders. I think Byron has tweaked a thing or two. So I don't think he was at 100% because he didn't play it all the weekend. Devine, I think, in Chris's mind, has been inconsistent. So I think actually Devine played up against Delaware and got the shutout on Sunday. But
Oh, he did. Okay.
yeah, but Gortman's he's a veteran. He's been around for a little while. I think he played on their D3 team last year, but he was on their D2 team the year before, and might have even seen a game or two at D1 along the way. But he may not be the best goaltender in the world, but he got the job done up against us.
Yeah.
It's so I mean, you can't really have anything bad to say about him. He played well. I'm sure he would want a couple of them back that went in the back of the net, but there's that. You can say that about any goaltender. I know Drag feels the same way about the couple that or the five that he led into. So you stick with what's hot, and he did, and he got three wins. It was a big weekend for Liberty, and I think they're probably one of the better teams that we've seen this year. Up to this point, I think they're them Virginia Tech are the best right now in the Mid Atlantic South. So it's going to be a heck of a battle throughout. To see who finishes number one. I think we can be officially taken out of that, but which is unfortunate, it being only November. But it's going to be tough to come back from that. We're going to have to go down there and sweep the rest of the way. So, but you never know; things can happen. I mean, it's sitting in front of us, so we just got to get the job done.
Yeah, I guess I jumped the gun a little bit there. I thought they'd be one of the teams that would rock a hot goaltender all the way through, and but I guess Devine had to get some time in there. Great depth in goaltending, I guess, as you could say, for Liberty, and that's going to be their strong point, along with those Docksteaders. Man, every time those guys touched the puck out there, you knew something was going to happen. So
yeah, they're something else. You can tell that they've been playing together their whole lives, and they're definitely going to be someone to deal with later on down the road. You definitely don't want to see Liberty on your schedule come regional time or anything like that, because that line, I mean, I hate to say it, they were missing the center that usually plays in between them.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Ingalls is, that they got down from the D1 team that's been a very good hockey player for them. So that line's only going to get better once he comes back from an injury. So it's going to be a very tall task ahead of anybody that has to play him, and they're a very good hockey team.
Yeah, I don't want to inflate the ego too much there on Liberty. I was very impressed with what I saw out of them. They were definitely a force to reckon with, and they will be for years to come, especially with Devin coming into the fold with them. But let's talk about that last blast that you guys put together in the last 8 minutes. I mean, what was that? I mean, was it what sparked it is what I'm trying to figure out, and will it carry on into this coming weekend with the home and home series against William Paterson?
One could hope. I mean, in between, and you were there with us in between the first and the second one. I kind of lost my nerve a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, kind of struck a fire a little bit. I mean, I think our best period of hockey was actually in the second period. Of actually running the systems and running playing UMBC hockey, so to speak. But every time we started to get momentum up, we took a penalty. So we were our biggest enemy at that same point in time. So in the third period, the game very well in hand. We were down 4-0. I didn't really have a lot of belief that we were going to come back and tie that game up. So we kind of just went back to basics, at that point you got to play for pride. But at the most time you tell the guys we're not having fun. And I understand, losing, being down 4-0 is not fun, but you've got to be able to enjoy the game that you're playing. Maybe not the score, but you still got to be able to enjoy the game, because it's the game that we all love to play, and it's love that we love to be a part of. So, we just said, you know what? Let's just put a smile on our face. Let's go out there and work our rear ends off, and let's go out and start to remember what it is about this game that we love to play. So a lot of it came from there, and I think the momentum started to build. And I'd have to say it probably wasn't our most skillful system-wise period, but at the same point in time, there's got to be something to say when a guy's coming back after 35, 45 seconds of working his rear end off, and he's got a smile on his face because he forechecked hard. He hit somebody, got a shot on net, took away a scoring opportunity, things like that. And he was having fun with it. So, it's been a while since we saw Bloom smile. Been a while since we saw Tracy smile. So, it was in that aspect, it was fun to see. And then all of a sudden, good things start to happen. You get a power play, then all of a sudden you get a 5-on-3, and people learn you don't want to give us a 5-on-3 because it would take 20 seconds to score a goal.
Oh yeah.
So and that was on our second look. So and then after that you score a goal, and you've been around UMBC long enough that if once we score a goal, a switch is flipped, and we're going to start moving our feet even a little bit more, and we're going to feel that hunger. It's like blood in the water for a shark. So we got one, all of a sudden we got two, and we got two, all of a sudden we got three, and then we ran out of time. But it's one of those things. I mean, the message on Monday was to have fun. I mean, I think it was probably our most fun practice. We might have not have worked a ton of things that are really going to help us to beat up on Paterson or help us compete and things like that. But at the same point in time, you know what, we got back to what makes us love this game. So, we had a 3-on-3 tournament. We had a scoring opportunity. We just went out of the norm. We needed to change things up. We needed to change the atmosphere a little bit. So, we're hoping that works. And then Wednesday we had a really good practice to move forward. Nice high tempo, structured, to get us ready for the weekend, because what we face this weekend is going to be pretty tough.
Now let's do the logic on this one, right? So earlier this month you lost to number 9 of the Northeast, Montclair State, and then you lost, a close game towards the end there, obviously, after the switch was flipped against Liberty, number 3 in the Southeast, and of course fallen to Virginia Tech last month here. You're going up against what you've said last week is arguably one of the best teams in D2 right now in the country, if not the best team in D2. 11 first-place votes there in the Northeast and just dominating the competition. That was evident in last weekend's scores, 6-2, 5-2 decisions, and I wonder what is it that you have to do to ensure at least one victory here. You start out at William Paterson and then finish out the weekend at home. What is it, Coach?
You put those numbers on. We lose the number 9 in the Northeast, Montclair, and then of course Paterson beat Montclair 7-3. And we lose the number 3. What I will remind you is that Paterson lost to number 8 in the Southeast, Ryder, and we beat Ryder. So anything can happen on any given day. We may not match up on paper up against William Paterson, but it's also a team that I know extremely well. So. What we have to do is we got to weather the storm in the first 10 minutes in the first period. We've got to stay out of the box, because their power play, as much as I think our power play is good, theirs is great. It always has been, probably always will be. They've got an incredible amount of talent. I think they've got 2 guys on their team that have scored just as many power play goals as our entire team. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers. Are you kidding me? 22 power play goals? I thought this was a typo or something.
No,
just between these 2 players.
Right. Richie's a heck of a hockey player, and I know him very well. And I was coaching one of the team over in Europe that he was on, and he's a heck of a pickup for them. I mean, they were dangerous last year when they had Glasgow, Hunter, and Mara. Now you add Richie to it, and it's a whole different atmosphere.
Oh, man.
So they're going to be tough. I mean, as top-loaded as they are, they've got depth. They've got more depth now than they probably ever have in the past. They've got 2 freshman goaltenders that, are sparking like a 94 and a 95% save percentage.
Oh, man.
So they're getting the job done. This team averages right around 40, 45 shots a game, and with that kind of talent that's shooting the puck, it's going to be tough. So. We've got to do certain things. We've got to limit their power play opportunities to hopefully 0. And if they get 1 or 2, it is what it is. I'm sure they will, but we need to be perfect on the penalty kill. And when we get opportunities, like I'm sure we will, we've got to capitalize on them. We've got to own the 5-on-5. We've got to make sure that we get pucks deep. We got to make sure our turnovers at blue lines are limited. And we got to go out there and play hockey. I mean, that's more than anything. I don't want to, bark up and down the bench about, making sure that assignments aren't missed or that are missed or whatnot. I mean, it is because it's going to be a part of it. You're playing talent like this, but at the same point in time, you just got to go out and play. And hopefully that we bring our best, and hopefully they bring their best, and hopefully on Saturday our best is better than their best. So, a lot of luck is going to come into play. So. But I love my guys. I love the atmosphere that we have. No matter how mad I am during the week or about a loss or whatnot, I walk in the locker room and a smile goes back on my face because it's UMBC. It's the boys. It's an atmosphere. It's a family that's it hasn't been around for a while now, for a couple of years. So it's nice to see it again. They truly care about each other. They want to get the job done. They want to win. Now it's just time to do it. All the talking time is over, and it's time to go out and see how you do up against the orange and the black.
Now, the the one question I have for you, and I don't know how focused you're in on this aspect of it, but they have two freshman goaltenders in Houlihan and Schepler, and I believe we saw Braun the last time that the Pioneers were in UMBC territory. What does this do for your focus? I mean, have you watched any tape on these two guys to get a feel for what they're all about?
I know absolutely nothing about them.
Oh man.
If that answers your question, but you know what, I scored a lot of goals in my day, and I am a strong belief that if you put traffic in front of people and you get sticks and tips and screens and rebounds are always going to be there, and if you get yourself a look, you better hit your hole, and pucks are going to go in the net. You got to shoot a certain amount of times, and you got to play the odds, and you got to play the numbers game. But at the end of the day, when you get your opportunities, you got to bury the biscuit. I don't care how good he is. We've got a pretty darn good goaltender ourselves, and Liberty found a hole 5 times.
Yeah.
So I mean, Drags is no slouch of a goaltender, and I don't want to take it, say that he's better than these two because I haven't seen him, but I'd wager that he probably is. So I mean, they're going to do a good job to try to find holes on Drago, and we're going to do our best to try to find holes on their goaltenders, whoever they play. We may see one of them twice, we may see both of them. We're gonna find holes, and we'll find it. We got talent: Atkinson, Bloom, OC, Tracy, Sadler. We've got guys too. So we just got to make sure that we get the opportunities, and once we get them, we bury the puck.
Now it looks like William Paterson has played a couple more games than you have, and the numbers look kind of different. But I mean, they obviously look different for obvious reasons. Your top 4 versus their top 4. It's a big difference. Now, who are you looking for to step up here? I mean, obviously we've seen some great production out of Atkinson and Tracy and Bloom. Who's the one guy that you would really like to see step up this coming weekend and elevate his game?
Yeah, it's actually going to give you 2. It's going to be kind of probably weird to hear me say this, but it's Pierce McCall and Adam Taylor.
Okay.
They man our third line with Dan Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, I think they need to pick up their game. I think they need to become more productive, and Pierce is doing a great job. I see a lot of a young Sean O'Connor in him. I think he's got to get more confident in his game and things like that. But once that comes along, I think he's going to be incredible. Taylor's got to shoot the puck more. I think he's been too pretty. He's got himself a really quick release and a really heavy shot, and he just got to let it go. And when he shoots, the thing finds the back of the net. Period. So, and Army, he's a grinder. He's feisty. He spins. He does little spinoramirs and spinneroonies, and all of a sudden the puck comes off his stick and it finds the back of the net. It's just the strangest thing. But you know what? He gets the job done. I expect our third line to have a really big weekend. And the other side of it is the line of Paget, McNulty, and Hannock. We've got guys like Bloom and Atkinson and, OC and Tracy and Sadler and John-Luc Durante that had a great game up against Liberty. But we've got big names in our top 6. Mm-hmm. And yet the McNulty, Hannock, and Paget line for about 3-4 weeks in a row has been one of our best lines. They may make some mistakes, but so does everybody else. But they work their rear ends off. They get the puck down deep. They cycle. They've got 1 goal to show for it. But I expect sooner or later, with all that hard work and all the offensive time that they spend, pucks are going to start to find the back of the net. Paget can shoot. McNulty can shoot. Hannock can shoot. They're going to start to score, and if that line can start producing a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit more, it's going to even everything out, and we're going to become a very, very dangerous team that can get production from 3 lines or 4 lines, and when that happens, good things happen. So.
You call out some of these players here, doing fine work in that, and on paper they, don't look like they're producing as much. I mean, I just want to call this out here. I wish it were possible for the ACHA to somehow record 2 stat categories that would definitely do players justice for the arguments you just made, and that would be shots on goal and plus and minus. I believe those 2 categories, would tell the true story on a lot of players' resumes here.
No, I agree, and it's actually something that is recordable,
Hmm.
It is when you go to report a game, those categories are there. It's just not enough people do it or keep track of it to have it be have it really mean anything. So we
Right.
kind of keep track of it on a team level side of it, and and obviously I do as the head coach want to make sure that I keep a good strong tally. But I mean that line's been incredible for us. They may
Right.
not have the productivity up on the score sheet or the scoreboard to show for it, but I mean up against Liberty they were out on the ice almost every other shift in the third period.
Yeah.
So I think they're doing a really good job for us. I really do.
All right. Now, like every week here, I'm going to start to make this a recurring thing now. What are your percentages looking like? I need to know your power play and penalty kill because I know you hold those to a high standard.
I do. Our power play dipped a little bit. I mean, granted, we only had one game this week. We did score
Right.
a power play goal to keep the streak up.
Hmm.
It was a 5-on-3. Took, I think all of 20 seconds to put the puck in the net.
Yep.
But so I think our overall percentages are down to about 32%, and our penalty kill is up around 87, 88%. So we're
Yeah.
we're we're
Okay.
still we're still we're still in the smiling stage. I'm actually really happy with that penalty kill. I think we're doing a great job. At this point in time last year, our penalty kill was in the 70s. So, and we've definitely made a lot of positive strides on the penalty kill side of it. On the power play, obviously our power play's up from where it was last year. Atkinson really helps on that side of things, and but we just have to stay the course. We got to continue. We got a lot of talent. The second unit's been good. We got to make them better. And we got to make the top unit better. So it's something that we're going to continue to work on, and they're going to continue to get their opportunities because we don't play teams that don't take penalties. So. And this week is no different. They score a lot of goals and they get a lot of power play opportunities, but they also give us they'll also give us power play opportunities as well. So when we get them, we got to bury our chances.
Well, all right. Let's ask one final question before I get your final thoughts. What if it is one thing that your team needs to do this weekend to ensure at least one win? What is it that the UMBC Retrievers have to do to come out successful this weekend?
I wish it was just one. When you're playing teams like this, we there's usually multiple things, but I think probably one of the most important things is we need to play at our best. We got to get back to having fun and remembering why it is that we play this game, and go out and let our feet and our hands do the talking. And I mean by stick handling and skating, but instead of worrying about where do I stand and who do I cover and all that kind of stuff, that'll all happen just out of pure reaction. So we gotta be ourselves. We gotta get back to UMBC hockey and play our game. That's what we need to do.
Final thoughts? Or you just pretty much covered it?
I think I've covered it. I mean, what we face in these upcoming days is going to be pretty tough. But
Right.
I've got enough to do my madness when it comes to Paterson, and sometimes it works and sometimes it hasn't. So we're due for a win over the Pioneers. I held the advantage when I was at Temple over them. And even in our first year down here at UMBC, we when we played them at Nationals. We lost the game number 1 to them 8-6, so we knew how to put the puck in the net. But we beat them at Nationals that year, and we haven't had the best of luck ever since then. So, me and Joey get along very, very well, and Ian up there, him and I get along very well, and I've got a nice relationship with Richie up there that now plays for him. So, I'm looking forward to seeing them all. Glasgow and Hunter and Mara, they're great hockey players, so we're going to have our hands full, but, just kind of looking forward to it and seeing what we got to bring to the table. You always want to play the number one team. You always do. The target's never on your back. There's never any pressure. The pressure's on them to stay number one, and so far they've been up to the task, but, you just hope to catch them maybe just a little bit off their game, or thinking that, well, they lost to Montclair and we killed Montclair, or that maybe they'll take us a little bit lightly. I doubt it, but it's going to be a fun time, and I love playing the best because I want to see where I'm at and what I need to work on, and if I steal one, Man, it makes me a very happy man.
Well, bring the madness and snatch some points away, and good luck this coming weekend against William Paterson.
Thanks, Terrence. I really appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Aaron Voegtli talking about this coming weekend's games against William Paterson. We'll catch up with him next week and recap that weekend with the home and home against William Paterson and preview the weekend ahead against Ryder and Rowan. This has been David Stearns for the Coach's Corner, saying good night, everybody, and as always, don't stop believing.
Take care.